Another comeback win for the Chicago White Sox as they beat the Houston Astros 4-3 on Tuesday night. Much like Monday's dramatic win, the Sox scored late, and Yoan Moncada was the right man at the right time during Tuesday's victory. The Cease Verlander showdown didn't necessarily live up to the hype, but all that matters is that the White Sox got the win. They are 5 games over 500 and just 1 game back in the AL Central.
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Locked On White Sox. Hey, I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong diehard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Really appreciate you letting me steal some of your time to talk White Sox. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. It was not the showdown we expected between Dylan Cease and Justin Verlander, but sometimes you don't get what you want, you get what you need. Yoan Moncada provided late game heroics once again as the White Sox fanned the spark that was started on Monday. State of the Sox, hey, 61-56, 5 games over, 1 game back now in the AL Central, chasing the Cleveland Guardians. 45 games left in the season. Sox win Tuesday night 4-3, take down the Astros 2 in a row in this 4-game series. So of course, much was made of the Dylan Cease, Justin Verlander showdown. Two guys really vying for the Cy Young Award this year. Both pitchers coming into the game with sub 2 ERAs, which is pretty rare this late into a season. It didn't really live up to the hype, at least from what Dylan Cease brought to the table. A lot of crowd engagement early on, pretty eventful early on, and late inning drama once again. Had an opportunity to get to this ball game, and it was intense early on. There was a lot of moments where folks were on their feet. There's just something about, of course, being at a baseball game in person opposed to watching it on TV. When you're watching the game on TV, you do not see everything that's happening. Outfield positioning, third base coach, first base coach, where the infielders are. You, of course, have that framed shot of pitcher, batter, catcher, umpire. So great to be at the ballpark. It was a beautiful night. Sox wearing the Southside jerseys. They wore them on Monday because of Southside Monday, but usually the starting pitcher has the opportunity to pick what jersey they'd like to wear. And I know Dylan Cease has mentioned that he likes those Southside jerseys. Sox obviously won in dramatic fashion on Monday night, so bringing them back on Tuesday. The reminder that I was kind of giving myself as I was jotting some notes down before the game: can't give the Houston Astros any extra outs or fail to capitalize when you have golden opportunities. Both of those things, unfortunately, occurred Tuesday night. However, the Sox did not quit. It was a huge win. Monday was a big win as well. Gave a lot of instant hope to Sox fans. Hey, there's the White Sox team we've been waiting for. Never say die in getting runs off of a tough Houston Astros bullpen. Some really great quotes that were after Monday's game that I thought set the stage well for what happened on Tuesday. This was, of course, the hero on Monday, Yoan Moncada after the game Monday night. This is what he had to say. This win today just confirms that we have a very good team. We have to believe in that. And the people around the team have to believe in that too. I went out there just looking for fastballs. I wasn't looking for anything else, just fastballs. He threw me a fastball, and I was able to put the barrel on the ball. It feels good. It made me feel excited, and it's something that definitely puts your confidence level high and makes you feel good. Like everybody said, the game doesn't end until the end. We kept battling, and we kept chipping away and grinding. I thought that was a very interesting quote. Especially with what happened on Tuesday. Here's Johnny Cueto after Monday's game. He, of course, was the starter. We come back today, and that's what we need to do in every game. Just try to compete and have the same energy level and excitement that we had today. We need every win, and that was a good one. All these games are playoff games, and we need to be prepared to compete. We have to forget where we are right now. We just have to keep playing hard and try to win every game. We don't have to be looking at the standings right now. We have to play hard and see what will happen at the end. And this was Tony La Russa on Cueto after his outing on Monday. You can't phase him, La Russa said. He's very special. It's fun to watch him. I'm glad, especially our younger guys are watching him. They learn a lot about what you've got to do when you're a starting pitcher to keep you in the game. We highlighted some of that on this podcast, thanks to some great articles by James Fegan in The Athletic, how younger pitchers on this staff have been watching what Cueto has been doing, making comments. Hey, there are other ways to get hitters out. And that is a great quote to read. And the stuff from Moncada is great. And it's very telling because Tuesday was almost a carbon copy of what happened on Monday. Justin Verlander in this Cease Verlander showdown. Now, he lived up to the hype. He was in Cy Young form, but the Sox once again waited for Houston's bullpen before they made their move. I'm going to tell you why. It was deja vu. More on that in a moment. Did you know the key to sustainable weight loss is through your liver? The liver is the body's metabolic furnace. It's responsible for flushing out harmful toxins and igniting your fat-burning metabolism. But thanks to modern diets rich in unhealthy processed foods and constant exposure to thousands of man-made and environmental toxins, most of us have overworked livers. But now it's easy to rejuvenate your liver health and reignite your metabolism. Thanks to Liver Health Formula by Prue Health Research. A Liver Health Formula contains 8 liver-boosting super nutrients, all of which work together to wake up a sluggish liver and turn it into a toxin-flushing and fat-burning machine. No more bloated belly, no more uncomfortable digestion, no more feeling tired and low on energy all the time. And best of all, Liver Health Formula makes it easier to maintain a healthy body weight long term. As a listener of this show, you can try Liver Health Formula risk-free today and get a free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Curb Fit is a safe and all-natural appetite suppressant, making it easy to say no to naughty foods. This makes it the perfect complement to Liver Health Formula. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB to learn more. Again, that's getliverhelp.com/MLB to try Liver Health Formula completely risk-free and claim your free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Well, there's always going to be a lot to talk about regarding lineup construction. You have got a lot of guys on this Sox team that can be a DH. They can maybe play in the outfield. You need their bat at times. And, when you put a guy like Yasmani Grandal in the lineup, even though he wasn't catching, Zavala, of course, was. Well, you got Grandal in there for a DH. That means Vaughn is going to have to play in the outfield because, of course, Abreu is going to play first. And you see some of those issues from, time and time again, whether it's Gavin Sheets out there or Vaughn. They are not outfielders, and sometimes they are exposed more times than not. And that happened on Tuesday. Thankfully, though, all's well that ends well. First inning, no Luis Robert. Once again, still resting that wrist. Hope to see him at least Wednesday, maybe Thursday, but we're going to need him for that Cleveland series. I'm sure of it this coming weekend. Sox went down in order against Verlander in the first. They put the bat on the ball. Vaughn had some morning track power, definitely taking their swings against a pitcher that the Sox have a lot of history against. Second inning, Abreu led things off with a single past Altuve. Yasmani Grandal rips a single down the first base line. So you've got first and third, nobody out. Moncada up. He worked a full count, but struck out. Can Harrison play hero? He went up the middle, and a diving Altuve couldn't handle it. Abreu scored. Yaz is safe at second, so it's 1-0 Sox quickly. Zavala rips a single to left field. Yasmani Grandal, not even close from scoring from second base. Sosa with an infield pop out. Pollock grounds out. The Sox only get one run, and they really let Verlander escape. And this second inning was gnawing at me, as it probably was you, throughout the game until the 7th and 8th when there was some dramatics. You can't let Verlander escape like that. But that is why he's Cy Young material. He was able to get out of it. Sox only got one run. Third inning, we're hoping for a longer inning offensively. Dylan Cease had a lengthy inning in the top half, but it was not meant to be. Abreu had a single in the third, and that was it. Fourth inning, Verlander was only at 45 pitches. Sox went down in order. Again, I'm thinking, oh, man, how did we leave all those guys on? How did we let Verlander off the hook in the second? This just isn't feeling good right now. Sixth inning, it's only a 2-run deficit at this point. Aloy got on base to lead things off due to a misplay by the shortstop. Can the Sox take advantage? Abreu was up already with 2 hits in the game. Then a classic Abreu double play to cancel the excitement. Yaz furthers the disappointment with a weak fly out to center field. After the 6th inning, the Astros had 7 hits. 5 of them were extra base hits. The White Sox, 6 hits, all singles. Here we go, though. Late game drama, 7th inning. Once again, Verlander still out there with 1 out. Harrison took one off the wall in left field, but only got a single out of it. Looked like he slipped around first base, or maybe he didn't even touch it. Zavala with a big walk. Sox have something going here. Verlander's at 90 pitches. Gavin Sheets comes in to pinch hit for Lenyn Sosa. And wow, Gavin Sheets with a 2-run double down the right field line. He got to third on an error. The game was tied at 3. Here we go again, just like Monday night. Pollock struck out, though. Andrew Vaughn had a chance to give the Sox the lead, but he grounded out to shortstop. Still, what an inning. Once again, late in the game and off of Verlander. 8th inning, Verlander is gone. The Sox now have to deal with this very difficult Houston bullpen, but they were able to handle it on Monday night. Aloy Jimenez, a walk to leave things off. Adam Engel comes in as a pinch runner. Jose Abreu with his 3rd hit of the day. You got runners at first and second with nobody out. Yasmani Grandal has got to have a productive at bat. He hits into a double play. Although Engel moves to third. Now here comes the hero from Monday, Yoan Moncada. Can he do it again? Absolutely, he can. Yoan Moncada with a base hit to center field. Tons of excitement from Moncada. I have not seen that much excitement from Moncada after that base hit when he was on first base. I haven't seen it all season. I might not have seen it during his entire tenure with the White Sox. As the Sox take a 4-3 lead, more eighth inning magic. Sox offense on Tuesday night, 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 extra base hit. Runners in scoring position, they were 4 for 10. The numbers weren't outstanding, but hey, late game drama off of a very tough bullpen to take that lead and batted around Verlander as well. Dylan Cease deserved better from his outfield, but he really didn't help himself by throwing a ton of pitches. I'm going to tell you how the bullpen came up big Tuesday night. More on that in a moment. You're hanging out with some friends and putting back a few drinks. A few becomes a few too many. As the evening comes to an end and people start to head out, you think of calling for a ride. You live nearby. You can make it home okay. It's no big deal. What are the odds you'll get pulled over anyway? And even so, what's the worst that could happen? Your insurance goes up. You lose your license. You lose your job. You total your car. You kill someone. Everyone knows about the risks of drunk driving. The results are tragic and often deadly. However, that still doesn't stop everyone from getting behind the wheel while they're under the influence. That's why police officers are out there right now looking for impaired drivers on our roads to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Play it safe and plan ahead to get a ride. It only takes one mistake to change your life or someone else's forever. Drive sober or get pulled over. Dylan Cease had it going early on, but, he has a tendency to throw a ton of pitches. He's a strikeout pitcher. When batters are falling off, his breaking stuff, especially if he's nipping on the corners and they're just trying to hang tough, that means it's going to be a long night for Dylan Cease. He didn't have the wipeout stuff going, and he walked a lot of batters. He didn't last as long as he wanted to. I know that. And the showdown, the Cease Verlander showdown, didn't really live up to everything that we were hoping it would be. But Dylan Cease, did as best as he could to keep the Sox in the game. First inning, 2 quick outs, then a base hit from Alvarez, fly out to end the inning. Only 10 pitches in the first inning from Dylan Cease, battling around a check swing third strike that ended up being a walk. Some frustration from Dylan Cease in that situation. In the second inning, he recorded his first strikeout, then a soft single to right field. Houston had runners on the corners with 2 outs. But then Maldonado lines out to Moncada, end of the inning. Third inning, trouble brewing here. Cease walked the first 2 batters. It was 3 walks already in the game for him. And then a big strikeout of Alvarez on a full count. Sox picked off Altuve at second base. And then Bregman hits one deep to right field. Vaughn was tracking this, could not make the play at all. I'm assuming that if we had a serviceable right fielder, someone that actually played the outfield, perhaps Adam Engel, he would have made that play easily. But then if you have Adam Engel out there, then you're not going to be able to have Vaughn's bat because of the whole Yasmani DHing and all of that stuff. So Houston scored there. Runner from first scored. It was a 1-1 game at this point. More 2-out offense for Houston. They scored again on a double, 2-1 Houston. A mound visit from Katz. Cease at 57 pitches. He did get a ground out to end the inning. Again, it was just 1 pitch away from getting Bregman, but it wasn't to be there. Fourth inning, a clean inning. He needed this, a 1-2-3 inning. And then the fifth, Altuve led things off for Houston with a home run. He's an interesting one to really watch. We've seen him a lot now. from last year's ALDS and then the times the Sox have played. A lot of boos, a lot of hate thrown at Altuve, understandably so. But the guy just continues to hit and perform. With all of this coming at him, you just kind of have to shake your head. And he heard it. He has definitely heard it from the White Sox crowd these last few games. But he put the Astros up 3-1 in the fifth. Cease was at 82 pitches. Bregman gets on second. A balk brought him to third, but a flyout ends the inning, and that's it for Dylan Cease. Just 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. His ERA now 2.09. He threw 93 pitches. So it wasn't the quality start we wanted, and the strikeouts rather low. It just didn't live up to the Dylan Cease type of performances we've been seeing leading up to this game. It's a 2-run deficit in the 6th inning, and the White Sox have got Jose Ruiz in the game, kind of a head scratcher. Despite a botched pickoff play at second, no damage done. That was his only inning. Then 7th inning, you got Velasquez. So Ruiz and Velasquez kind of in these high leverage situations. You get Houston with only a 2-run deficit. Again, a little surprising there. Velasquez struck out Altuve to start things off, but Houston eventually had runners on first and second with only 1 out. Full count to Tucker with 2 outs. Gets him to ground out to Harrison at second to end the mild threat. So now you got to look at the 8th inning, and the Sox just tied it up in the bottom half of the 7th. Lambert comes in. He struck out the first 2, then got a fly out. Aside from that 1 inning in the Kansas City series last week, Lambert has been very reliable. And then the 9th inning, it is tense. Sox were only up by 1. It was 4-3, no room for error. Hendriks comes on. You got a pop out in foul territory to lead things off. A fly out to right field, and then a huge strikeout. What a win for our White Sox. The bullpen pulling their weight. 4 innings, only 3 hits, and 0 runs. Michael Kopech goes to the hill for the White Sox tonight as they look to get a series win against the Houston Astros. Hey, thanks for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast absolutely everywhere you find your podcast. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen. Now make your second listen, the Locked On MLB podcast. MLB expert Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, and unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. Follow the #1 daily league-wide podcast, Locked On MLB, on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Coming up on the next episode, I'll recap Michael Kopech's outing and hopefully be talking about more heroics on the South Side. Really appreciate you making time for the Locked On White Sox podcast. I'm Nick Morawski. Until next time, go Sox.